Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. No points are awarded for guessing what we are doing this time.
007 Legends?
Close. Nothing quite that bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've been through that game twice already. I don't need to go through a third time.
So, Chaos Arcade, tell me, what is your experience with GoldenEye on the N64?
Every so often I boot it up on my N64 just to fuck around with it, but that game's control scheme just does not agree with me. Part of that might just be because my N64 controller is a more modernized take with two, the standard two prongs instead of the standard three.
Yeah, that can't use the objectively superior and Dr. Doak approved solitaire scheme, which is the way to play GoldenEye on the N64. And shows the basis of the various workarounds that you have for the Switch release of this game.
Right.
That came out recently. This is of course the Xbox version. Because, well, I mean, it's in 4K and everything, and I quite like these slightly modernized controls they got going on. But it does have some problems, many problems. We'll get to those.
I'm not gonna lie, as nice as 4K sport can be, I don't feel like up-resing, a 240p game past like 720 or 1080p really gets you a whole lot.
It actually kinda helps see stuff sometimes, as we'll get into. So here I'm just kinda figuring out which file I should actually pick. You can see the 007 there on the top file. That is what you unlock when you beat the game on 00 Agent. 007 is basically a sandbox mode of sorts where you can mess with sliders to make the game as easy or as hard as you want. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Yeah, that is the level select when you start. I was considering just starting a new file, but then I figured I might as well show off the options for 007 mode, so we'll just get back to that in a moment. I will say the upscaling on these menus is not particularly amazing.
Yeah, some things look fine, but then I look at the crest in the upper right, and that's a little messy, we'll say.
And of course the difficulties. Agent is your basic easy mode, not too many objectives. Secret Agent is medium, you get a little bit more objectives and the enemies are more dangerous and stuff. And 00 Agent is pain. And here's 007 where you can just set all these sliders to whatever. I think the default is basic 00 Agent. But I think we'll just go with the actual 00 Agent difficulty here.
Good luck.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. Now I should point out right at the start that I am not a pro at this game, so if you want to see pro GoldenEye gameplay, go watch like Crash Through 00 or something. I am very much a casual at this. So we got our basic briefings here, which I haven't read since 1998. And kinda have to be careful not to skip. At least not too quickly. Now Q there is talking about the bungee rope and the piton gun, which I believe were supposed to be like actual gadgets during development, but they actually removed those and you just do all that stuff automatically now, so let's get started.
Ooh, that font.
Yeah, it really is a shame that they didn't release didn't base these versions on the cancelled remake that was meant to be released on Xbox Live Arcade in like 2007. And which was recently leaked to the internet, and that is a good version, but it is clearly unfinished and it has some problems, so I did not choose to play that. We might see it, well, some bits of it at some point, but for now this is the official release on the Xbox, running on the Series X, which does struggle with some frame pacing issues. On top of the 30 FPS frame rate.
That is little concerning for an emulation job of an old. How old is this game now? Like 25 years?
26.
Yeah, on the a thing as beefy as a Series X.
I mean, this has always been a pretty difficult game to emulate well. I mean, they have sorted it out eventually on the PC side of things, but I believe the issues here stem from like dynamic recompilation. So it occasionally does have some oopsie moments, I guess. I am also having some oopsie moments because I forgot there was a guy right behind me. So yeah, no pro GoldenEye to be found here. At all. Oh nice, that guy just kinda vaguely shooting off to the side and still managed to hit me, so that's great. The game does have auto-aim, but it's kinda useless on 00 Agent, to be quite honest. Well, let's get this guy through these gates here. I'm not sure why they need a foreign agent's help to get through these gates, but I mean, I guess I shot all the guys who were on gate duty, so never mind.
Is that like one of the is the driver one of the guys you're shooting at? Or, you know, on their side?
Yeah, I think that's just some rando.
Huh. Okay then.
In the Activision remake that they released on the Wii in 2010, you actually get in the truck with Trevelyan and try to get past the guards, and it doesn't go so well. And it all gets a bit Call of Duty.
I mean, that whole remake is very Call of Duty.
I shot that man in the head through the window and he didn't die, so that's great. Also, the guy in the fancy uniform, he dropped a DD-44 Dostove, which is a pretty powerful handgun, but not as accurate as the PP7 we are currently using, the silenced variant.
I see.
Here we have this sort of computer type screen, which we need to bug with this covert modem, which as we can see is very covert indeed. Nobody's gonna notice that ever.
Man, that thing has like a massive bezel.
So here we got some guys on top of the towers. And I just completely whiffed that, so great job.
Did he
Of course, when I'm not recording, I nail the headshot every time, but as soon as I start recording, then this happens.
Did he run off the platform to get down here?
Ah, don't worry about it. Now, if we were just playing this on Agent, all we would have to do would just be to dive off the dam, basically. That would be it. This is the only objective there, but of course we have some more. And that is the little island that spawned many a playground rumor back in the day. There is nothing in there, of course. It was originally supposed to be part of an objective, but it was removed.
I see.
This guy's pretty sturdy as well. The thing I don't really like about 00 Agent that much is that the enemies are pretty spongy unless you manage to get a headshot. Which, as you can see, seems to be beyond my capabilities at the moment.
You got really close with that one, I think.
I think I got him at least. That is something I probably would not have been able to do at the 240p. There we go, I got the number eventually.
Yeah, that's probably a fair assessment, honestly. I didn't really think about like sniping or draw distance as a benefit to rendering in 4K.
On 00 Agent, that stuff will save your life. And that guy also didn't die when I shot him in the head, so strange things are afoot. Now, one thing that the Xbox version does is it actually lets you move while you have the reticle on the screen. On the N64, when you started aiming with the reticle, you would just stop, and you could like pop like out of cover and that sort of thing, but you could like move freely with the reticle on.
Huh. That's very, RE4, I guess, or maybe RE4 took some design notes from GoldenEye.
Yeah, probably. It makes the game a little bit easier, I guess. Oh, gotta watch out for that. Everything explodes. And we have taken a little bit more damage than I would have liked, so might want to steer clear from the explosions, which, as you could probably guess, are generally not a good idea to stand next to. Oh, auto aim, thank you. If you shoot the enemy's gun, that just does nothing. Like, you would hope it would like make them drop it or something, but it just does nothing. Even with guns that technically can penetrate like objects, doors and boxes and stuff like that. Nope. Right. If you hit if you hit an enemy's gun with that, it just does nothing. That you were saying?
No, never mind.
So our objective is the other way, but I just wanna show off this little bit right quick and get shot in the back. Why not? Because GoldenEye's levels they were designed first as places and as video game levels second by an actual architect. Like Carl Hilton had like has an architectural degree. He has like a master's.
I did not know that. That's actually kind of interesting.
And of course the game was originally designed to be a rail shooter like Virtua Cop. But they, of course, took it off the rails, and the rest is history, as they say. And you can still see that rail shooter influence in quite a lot of places in the game. Like how the enemies act and that sort of thing. So yeah, it just has all these little areas that don't really have any real purpose in terms of the mission, but it just makes the areas feel more believable, or the levels feel more believable, I think. Makes them feel like that sort of sandbox that you get dropped into and told to figure it out. And make your own routes and that sort of thing. Which is something I really like.
Yeah, like one of the things that like makes me put down GoldenEye whenever I try it is like I get lost pretty easily. But with the idea that like these are actual places before video game levels, like that's kind of neat. Like I can appreciate it.
Also, that guy just took like 3 sniper rounds to the chest from point blank range.
Never skip chest day?
These are pretty sturdy boys.
Yeah, no kidding.
Don't know what the Red Army was feeding these boys. This is taking place in 1986, these first set of levels. Like it said 9 years ago in the intro, and GoldenEye, of course, the movie came out in 1995 and is set in 1995.
Right.
So yeah, basically what we're doing here is trying to blow up this sort of facility that is making like nerve gas. The movie didn't really go into what we were doing here, but that's apparently how that went. So now we just need to blow up the couple of alarms that are left here in these towers. I could just shoot it with the Dostove, but never mind. Because like we have shot all the enemies.
Oh, there's a finite number of enemies per level?
Yeah, in certain levels at least. There are some that just spawn them infinitely, but in many levels, yeah, they will eventually stop coming. But yeah, in some levels it really is a good idea to use your silenced pistol as well as your melee attack as much as possible, because that can also save your life, because you really don't want to be mobbed by an army of enemies, because you are pretty fragile on Double Agent.
Yeah, that checks out.
But there we go. That is the first level. Could have done that a lot faster, but wanted to show off some stuff, I guess. I still like how they didn't render the actual bungee cord.
I was gonna say, this is less of a bungee jump and more of like a skydive.
So after each mission we got some stats here. You can see our hit percentages. Others of course means in the junk or in the butt. So let's just see, yeah, we have to rendezvous with 006. I think this is still the previous M, not Judi Dench, because again we are still in the 80s.
Right, right.
Maybe I'm overthinking it. Moneypenny, please, nothing is a match for James Bond's pheromones.
Also, yeah, you may be overthinking it. I don't know. I feel like it would just be whoever was the, whoever was, you know, playing the roles at the time of release, because, you know,
Yeah, that would have been Judi Dench. It was her first one.
Right, right. Yeah, I'm just using, like, Activision's GoldenEye as my example there, because that uses, Daniel Craig, I believe?
Yeah.
Along with 007 Legends, which did also have Daniel Craig for all 5 Bond-era movies.
Which was an interesting approach. And speaking of interesting approaches, Facility is probably one of the most famous levels in the game. Lots of routes you can take, especially around this first area here.
Yeah, this is where I usually stop playing because I get really lost here.
Now one thing that should be pointed out is that enemies are not alerted if, like, their own guys are firing their guns. So like that is not gonna alert anyone nearby.
Interesting.
But of course if you fire the assault rifle, yeah, that's gonna bring all the boys in. At least if you just hold the trigger instead of firing like single shots or short bursts. Oh, hello there.
Is it possible to take out a dude just with melee on 00 Agent?
Yes, and that is actually a very good strategy in some levels.
Okay. Because you did come up on that dude from behind.
It's an instant kill. Sorry?
You did come up from that dude from behind, so...
Yeah, but I knew that there was gonna be another guy coming in, so I didn't want to risk it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the melee attack is an instant kill from behind. And even, like, from the front, it still does as much damage as, like, the Magnum, which is one of the most powerful guns in the game, so don't sleep on the old slappers. And naturally nobody's gonna hear it, so in some levels it will save your life absolutely on 00 Agent. So we need to contact the Double Agent, so let's see if we can find him. Nope. These are just scientists in here, so we have to press forward. I think there's a guy coming in. Oh, hello, sir. Try not to shoot the scientists. I think a couple of them can get killed and we won't fail the mission, but I don't want to risk anything.
Can the soldiers kill the scientists?
No, I don't think they can.
Okay, that's good.
I think that would be counted like as friendly fire, and that doesn't really exist in this game. No James Bonds past this point. Also no smoking.
Hello, sir. I am James Pond.
Ah, the mighty 16-bit platforming hero from the home computers back in the day. James Bond. Yeah, that was certainly a thing. He had like 3 games.
I didn't actually know there was a parody named James Pond. Like, I probably should have.
Oh, there absolutely is. I'll tell you all about James Bond.
I should have figured. I think that's just the name I use for, like, my Intellion in Pokemon Sword.
Right. Yeah, he had a couple of pretty well-received platformers in the 90s, mostly on the Amiga, as well as other home computers, as well as the Genesis and... Well, I think they made a Super NES version as well of, like, James Bond 2.
I don't know.
It came out on everything, basically. So, still looking for the double agent. I said I'm looking for the double agent. I'm not looking for any more men to kill. I need to get the door decoder, so I can get to the bottling room. But he's not here either, which is a bit of a problem because he should be in one of these rooms.
Is it static where he is?
No. He can be in either this area or the 2 rooms that we went to earlier with the big bottles, and one room that we did not go to because usually you don't have to go there because there's nothing in there.
Gotcha.
So guess where he is.
Well, that's fun.
Guys, please. So, yeah, you might have noticed that there were 2 computers here, so let's go to the right side room here, the right side door. Somebody's giving chase, but we don't really care right now. Gotta keep an eye out for him at least. There he is. There is Dr. Doak himself. Who of course has the name and the face of Dr. David Doak, who was the... I forget what his actual title on this was, but he was like a lead game designer.
I see.
I'm sure that's fine. The pathfinding on the scientists and other randos is not particularly amazing.
I was about to say, they're having a real bad time, just going around.
This game did come out in 1997, so...
Fair.
And honestly, for a console shooter in 1997, this is still really, really impressive. I still think that if this had come out on PC at the same time, with like the exact same mechanics and same design, it would probably have been just as acclaimed there. Because there's just so much little stuff here that is really, really good. Of course you had stuff like Doom and Quake and Duke Nukem and that sort of thing, and I love all those games, you know. But this is just a different type of shooter. More with a stealth approach and just so many of these little interactions.
Hey, I recognize those from Smash Bros.
Yeah, those were actually designed after the GoldenEye remote mines.
I forget which game it was they changed the design though.
Anyway, here's Sean Bean. He's gonna die in about a minute. Spoilers. Is it really a spoiler to say that Sean Bean dies? So let's just watch these guys come in as Sean Bean does his thing.
You go, Sean Bean.
I don't think these guys are gonna gun for us at this point. Alright, so let's just inch ourselves towards the exit. When this guy shows up, which has never happened before, he's actually shooting at us, which is a bit of a problem. Buddy, you're kinda ruining the scene here, so if you wouldn't mind. So yeah, Sean Bean's dead and we are out of here. I don't know what was going on with that guard there. I think he might have been like from a different part of the level who just caught up with us.
That is possible.
And yeah, if you beat Facility on 00 Agent in under 2:05, you unlock the invincibility cheat.
Oh man.
So yeah, that was something I have also unlocked on this file.
That is a lot to do in 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
I mean, you can just basically run through it.
I guess.
And hope that Dr. Doak is in one of the easy to access rooms. Yeah, we might be seeing some of the cheats in action in later videos as I do some extra type of stuff. There's all kinds of fun cheats that you can unlock by beating these levels in certain times. Like if you beat Runway, this level here, on Agent in 5 minutes, you unlock DK mode. Which is exactly what it says on the tin. Everybody gets the proportions of Donkey Kong, and it's great. Also, that is just great. You can bounce a grenade around the corner.
That kind of rules for 97.
And of course it also blows everything up, like all the tables and the cabinets, all that stuff just blows up. Like you can destroy pretty much any and all furniture in the game that you run into.
Again, that kind of rules for 97.
Absolutely. Anyway, we have found some hardware.
Hell yeah!
One of my favorite things to do in the game when I was a kid was basically just drive around this level in the tank and shoot the infinite spawning guards.
You know what? I can get down with that.
I mean, I did that not too long ago on the XPLA version. It was still a lot of fun. Because GoldenEye is not just a great sort of stealth shooter, it's also a really good like Rambo simulator. Or Carmageddon, apparently. That was a pretty gruesome sound, actually. Yeah, sometimes they also have this ridiculous scream when you run over them, but didn't activate that time, sadly.
I'm sure we'll hear it eventually.
Maybe. The crosshair is not being very helpful at the moment. There we go. I could play with these guys for a longer time, but maybe I'll just go because we still don't have that much health on 00 Agent. And these guys will keep spawning.
Right.
So we'll just finish that. Weapon of choice, tank. Hell yeah, it is.